Hello everybody, I'm Storm here. Welcome back to Final Fantasy XIV Online Hildebrand. In the last episode, we're continuing our investigation to find Poo-Poo's companion. We were asking around Thafnir, and there were some sightings that seemed to indicate that there was a lead, but it turned out to just be the Mandragoras and a gentle dead man who was helping them out. And in the process, Poo-Poo created another clone of Hildebrand, but one that's a bit different. So he's become named Brandehild. And some deduction led us to conclude that we could track down the saucer by looking for UFO sightings that did not correspond to places that Poo-Poo had been. And that led us in the direction of Garlemald. We went there, talked to the people who had sighted the saucer, and it turns out that during the War of Succession, they had shot it down. So, thanks to some clever calculations from Brandehild, we discovered the wreckage, or at least a piece of wreckage. But in that process, Nashu had gotten abducted by Lugae, so Godbert and Hildebrand dealt with that situation before we could even get there. So, great. But now we're back in Raz.Han to continue our investigations. That is where we are at. So, let's go ahead and talk to Delian here and get started. Alright. Delian is trembling with barely contained enthusiasm. You know me, eager to resume our investigations? I know I am. Do you recall that scrap of alien starship we recovered? Well, Inspector Brandehild has employed his unsettling calculative capacity to extrapolate the damage to the greater hull, and has concluded that the vessel would be incapable of flight without extensive repairs. Our most likely scenario, then, is that some unknown agent made off with the starship record along with Poo-Poo's acquaintance. Fortunately, I have a fair idea who that unknown agent might be. After all, there is a singularly shadowy cabal with a history of concealing extraterrestrial activity. Actually, let's head over to Kama first. The inspector and the others are staying in a dwelling there. I'd rather not explain myself twice. Alright, well, let me head back over to Kama. Alright. Ooh. Something going on here? Delian? This may not be the best time to share my conclusions. Nashu? Oh yeah, man, I'm so worried for Master Poo-Poo. And Brandehild. Most terrible development. Alright. LD? 'Tis horrible misfortune, Ayame. Calamitous events. Poor Master Poo-Poo has fallen gravely ill. He's so bluish-green. More so, I mean. Could he have caught a cold? I suppose it was quite chilly up there in Garlemald. Poo-Poo is an alien. Who knows what extraterrestrial diseases might be ravaging his body? Nashu? I don't think that's gonna work. Nashu's delights are the best medicine for whatever ails you, as the inspector himself can attest. Good gods, Nashu, you'll blow our host domicile to pieces. Put them away. He really wants to blow something up. If I may, when I was cloned from the Inspector, certain gaps in my knowledge were patched with supplementary data from the Starship's archives. This information included an encyclopedic understanding of Master Poo-Poo's physiology, which should be sufficient for me to diagnose his condition. A Xenoman hybrid mind that explains the impossible calculations. And here we go again. I have it. Master Poo Poo is afflicted by a terrible case of the common cold. Gods grant me strength. As a visitor to a theorist, Master Poo Poo has no prior exposure to our maladies. He is thus particularly susceptible to infection, and more likely to experience severe symptoms. Aha! 'Tis just as I surmised. We must put aside the case until we have nursed our sickened companion back to health. But even if it is a common cold, isn't there a risk that our medicines do him more harm than good? They almost certainly would. Based on the results of my analysis, however, I believe I can synthesize an effective remedy. We need but gather the ingredients. Then ingredients you shall have. So, what are we gathering exactly? Most of what we require can be drawn from Master Poo Poo's collected samples. Otherwise, there are only 2 of which we lack. The first of these is the liver of a giant tortoise. A suitable organ can be extracted from one of the cachapa, which wander salt winds welcome. Ah, the slaughtering of a monstrous opponent. That sounds like a job for a Yame. Yep, I can get that done. The other material in question is a rare fungus known as damp shroom, which I am hoping can be found among the Great Works' extensive stock of alchemical reagents. Very well, Nashu, Delian, and I will scour the alchemist's shelves. Meanwhile, I would ask that you remain here and keep an eye on our ailing patient. Inspector Brandaheld, you're such an expert on all things Thavner. Well, I wouldn't say expert. Simple conclusions from simple observations, nothing more. As I said, I'm quite hoping the alchemists have the damp shroom we need, but it really is quite rare. Once you have the tortoise liver, would you be so kind as to assist the others in procuring the fungus? Sure thing. Then let us not prolong Master Poo Poo's suffering a moment longer. It seems we have a job to do. Further discussion of the abduction will have to wait. Alright. Off to Hildebrand. The giant tortoises are just outside. Alright, here's our target. Alright, piece of cake. Now, they were headed to the Great Work, were they not? Yes. Alright, Delian. Your mission was successful, I assume. Ours is ongoing. Nashu? Who knew a lamp shroom would be so difficult to find? It's damp shroom. Ah, Hayame, I had every confidence you would bring us a suitable liver. Alas, the dank shroom still yet eludes us. Dank shroom. Alright. The alchemist said the fungus has few applications, so they don't bother to stock it most of the time. Knows what my keen inspector sends to work. Stand back whilst I attune myself with the essence of the dank. Okay. Damp. The word is damp shroom, and you'll forgive me if I have no faith in your abilities. It's close, my friends, and getting closer and closer even as we speak. I hear you folk on the market for damp shrooms. I might have some to sell if you're interested. A trustworthy trader. But how? You certainly are, my fine fellow. Right then, if I give you a moment to retrieve the goods, we can finalize our transaction up on the perfumed rise. Was it genuine clairvoyance or sheer coincidence? I'm not sure anymore. Though in all fairness, when it comes to Inspector Hildebrand, a preternatural perception is one of his least baffling talents. In any case, we should hurry to the rise and take this man up on his timely offer. We got a little stalker over there. Alright, yes, a convenient, trustworthy trader just appears with the exact items we need. How fortuitous. Alright, here we are. Hildebrand? Request for medicinal components nears its end. Stay strong, Master Poo-Poo. Nashu dozing off again. The inspector saves the day again. And Dillian. Wonder, does this not strike you as a touch convenient, if not contrived? Yeah, I'm kind of actually on your side there, Dillian. Sometimes paranoia is valid. Ah, you're here. Good, good. And here's a damp shroom as promised. Oh, glad we are for your assistance. Not so fast. There is still the matter of payment. Of course, of course. And how much do we owe you, my good man? Considering the extreme rarity of the fungus in question, I wouldn't let it go for less than 1 million gil. 1 million gil for one measly mushroom? That's outright robbery. A bargain, I counter. You would pay tenfold my price in the markets. I thought to do you a kindness in light of your urgent need, but I am more than willing to find another buyer if you wish to spit upon my generosity. Nashu, how fare we for coin? We're plumb out, Inspector. Oh, and this is a prickly pickle. Where are we to obtain sufficient funds at such short notice? Yes, I have it, but I have an equestrian roll collecting problem. Gotta buy them all. And last of my savings on return to oblivion. 1 million gil was it? Now may our savior in every sense of the word. Give that man nothing. Huh? Remember the Radiant Host? And he's running. We have you now, deceitful scum. Your swindling days are over. Ah, a scammer. Well, said Han City Guard, at your service. We received reports of this man's questionable activities and have been keeping a close eye on him ever since. Damp shroom is a rare find in the bazaar, to be sure, but only because there's no real demand for it. The price this charlatan quoted you was quite frankly ludicrous. But thanks to your ignorance and poor judge of character, we were able to catch him in the act. As a token of our gratitude, you are welcome to keep the fungus, assuming you still want it. Yes, very much so. That is very magnanimous of you. Bah, you'd think I enjoy tricking fools out of their coin? That bastard hadn't declared my job redundant, I wouldn't have needed to stoop so low. He blames a rising star among the merchant princes for his woes. Van Hoody, I believe his name was, purchased a trading consortium where the man was working, which led to a restructuring of the hierarchy. Put a lot of people out of work. Van Hoody. I know the name. Something about an acquisitions deal gone sour. Father was willing to sell him a slice of his Hanish enterprise, I think, but balked when the man offered to buy our family business in its entirety. Truly, there's no telling how deep the coffers of this Van Hoody are. Nor do any know the secret of how he amassed such a kingly wealth so damnably fast. There are whispers, though, that he solved alchemy's oldest and most legendary problems, the transmutation of base metal into gold. Unlikely to say the least, but whatever the source of Van Hoody's riches, he shows no reluctance in spending them. He's bought a historic temple to serve as his home, and commissioned a private airship among other extravagant expenditures. Nice for some, eh? Well, we happened to see somebody who had a private airship. Core, that swindling case barely started before you solved it, Inspector. Ahaha, all a day's work, my dear Nashu. I believe our business upon this scented hill is concluded. Let us hurry the ingredients back to Inspector Brenda Hill, shall we? I may have mollified his lordship with the secrets of divine manifestation, but the stench of failure yet clings to me. I must redeem myself in his eyes by crushing my most hated foe. Like, wee. Alright. Back to Rasad Han. See if this takes care of the problem. Alright, Dillion. After all that, we paid not a single gil for the damn shroom. The manifestation of such windfalls must be another facet of the Inspector's uncannily good fortune. Hildebrand, your suffering nears its end, Master Poo-Poo, and Nashu. If Inspector Brandahill's remedy fails, we can always try my explosive cure-all. I think we'll be fine, Nashu. Inspector Hildebrand tells me you have the liver to go along with this damn shroom? Yep, I do. A fine specimen, thank you. I'll be mixing the ingredients in the starship, so let us convey Master Poo-Poo outside that we may administer his medicine as soon as it is ready. This should be sufficiently remote. I'll have the craft come to us and we can commence the treatment. And that was quick. Oh, I feel so much better. I cannot thank you all enough. Master Poo-Poo recovered his strength in mere moments. 'Twould seem his powers of recuperation are just as advanced as his technology. I came here from another world, a stranger you've no cause to trust, and yet you've treated me so kindly. The people of this star are so very welcoming. Ah, you are our dear friend now, Master Poo-Poo. 'Tis our pleasure to help. And it would be my pleasure to harm. More calculations. A crystal? I'm not far for the same trick twice. Well, that didn't work. Hildebrand's gonna try it. Oh. Oh, I see. A goblin. Now we're doing basketball. Okay. We did volleyball, we did soccer, and now we're doing basketball. All right, then. Impudent worms, taste my full power. She's taking her shot. Oh, it's off the rim. We got the rebound. Dunked it home. And the goblin's done the worse for wear. And there he goes. And goofy little guy with the branches. You took the full force of the destructive beam, yet there you stand, somewhat singed, but apparently unharmed. Yeah, that's Hildebrand. I pondered and puzzled over this inexplicable fortitude of yours and feel compelled to ask. Are you an alien? Ah, fine jest, but I assure you, I am without doubt an Uldan, born Manderville of terrestrial here in stock. He's Hildebrand, agent of inquiry and inspector extraordinaire. What more do you need to know? Where to even begin? But never mind. We have more pressing matters. That is locating Master Poo-Poo's missing comrade. 'Tis time we reopened the case of the silent correspondent. Yes, exactly. And I have a firm theory as to who it was that took the wreckage and its erstwhile pilot. The Charlians. Well, but certain they've allied with insidious extraterrestrials, which means they'll be under orders to remove any evidence of alien activity. I'll wager we'll find what we're looking for in Old Charlian. We need only infiltrate their operations and expose this nefarious conspiracy. The Charlians can't be bothered to formally ally with foreign nations, much less aliens, and the Loporits don't count. Because they're not actually aliens. While Master Delian's theory does lack supporting facts, we have no other promising leads to pursue at present. Moreover, I understand that Charlian sets the standard for monitoring astronomical and astrological phenomena. Mayhap their experts have been tracking extraterrestrial movements. I've spoken out of turn. Please forgive my presumptuousness. Hey, my friend. I, too, since our path points to the Isle of Archons. Pack your bags, everyone. We leave for Charlian immediately. Alright, so I guess we're off to Charlian. Brandehild. My calculations may have failed me, but my companions did not. 'Twas your quick thinking that saw the villain laid low, with a tremendous flourish, no less. Alright, Brandehild told me you all went in search of ingredients for my medicine. I am very grateful. Delian. Time is coming, Ame. Charlian is the beating heart of this conspiracy, and I won't let them hide their machinations any longer. Alright. That's not going to go the way you think it will. Nashu. Nice teamwork, Ayame. And Hildy. Charlian awaits. We need only charter a suitable sea vessel. Of course, but does not the city lie many days sail to the north? Is there no swifter means of reaching our destination? There is this experimental aetherite. So, this experimental aetherite will allow us to teleport thither, even absent attunement? Splendid! Then we shall avail ourselves of the technological marvel forthwith. Yes. Enjoy your experimental aetherite. I'm going to use the traditional means. Been a little worse for there, but where there, buddy? Oh, Lord. Boop. Oh, when you've traveled the cosmos as much as I have, teleportation is not the least bit disconcerting. Brandehild? How severe is your ether sickness, Master Poo-Poo? Delian. Oh, God, save me. Nashu? I hope Delian wasn't too attached to his dinner. You seem to be doing okay, though. Hildy. So this is the City of Learning. A sophisticated gentleman should feel right at home here. Oh, how are you all not all sick to your stomachs? Experimental aetherites make travel exponentially more fun. Sometimes I feel as though I'm the only normal person as a group of eccentrics. But this is not the time to succumb to nausea. Not here, in the belly of the beast. Rumor has it the Charlian secret agents travel the star in search of specimens, which they collect and bring home in service to a confidential research project. Said project is conducted in a huge underground military facility. If we're to find answers, then that's where we need to look. Secret agents? You mean gleaners? These gleaner chaps sound like they might know a thing or two. I say we pay them a visit in a little underground base. We simply take a lift from the Hall of Artifice, yes? Then let us be on our way. Yeah, Labyrinthos is not a military facility. It's a research facility. So they were conducting a secret project there. Oh well, never mind. Alright, let's head in that direction. And it should be just over here. Because they will have to ride the elevator. We don't have to. Alright, poo-poo. A beautiful architecture. Charlene is clearly one of your more advanced civilizations. Brandhild. The city's archives are said to be bursting with knowledge of countless peoples accumulated over the centuries. I should very much like to peruse the shelves, once we have attended to our main mission. Nashu? You're still feeling poorly. My all-purpose cure can prick you right up. He still wants to blow something up. Alright, Delian? No, thank you. I am much recovered. You know, there's a Lalafell engineer that you might want to talk to. Hildebrand? Ah, these must be the lifts in question. Do you wish to descend into Labyrinthos, madam? My apologies, but each of your companions must also secure the proper permissions before we can allow them entrance. If it is assurances you need, then surely a single glance is all you require to judge us trustworthy. You and your half-tattered clothes. Delian and whatever get-up that is. A strange blue alien and a polygonal person. I can certainly make some judgments, but there's neither here nor there. Admission to Labyrinthos is subject to foreign policy. You're the ones who should be judged. I know you're hiding aliens and xenotechnology in an underground base of yours. Admit it. Xenotechnology? I sincerely have no idea what you're talking about. Oh, yet again do our paths cross in most serendipitous fashion. Ah, Godbert. Father, what business brings you to Charlian? I'm in search of a certain object, one crucial to the continued refinement of the Manderville weaponry. My investigations led me to believe it is to be found here in Labyrinthos. And as you also seem to have business down below... This is my son and his bosom companions. If I vouch for the character, will you kindly allow them to board the lift? Ah, Master Godbert Manderville. The forum sent word of your impending arrival. As a member of the Syndicate, your ambassadorial status affords you an entourage of up to 5 members. May consider their permissions arranged. Well, we have 6 here. Well, I have permission. Myself. I know not your current mission, but for the time being, I suggest you accompany me to the Archaean. And you don't have permission. Alright, over to the Archaean. Brandhild. What an incredible vault of accumulated curiosity. I should very much like to return here once our mission is complete. So you have said, Delian. An underground archive was such an extravagant recreation of an outdoor habitat. What innocent purpose could it possibly serve? Oh, but of course, they're performing simulations to hone their strategy for aiding the aliens in the invasion of the world above. Nashu? We're underground, but above ground at the same time. Poo-poo. Your thoughts? Ah, they have transformed the subterranean environment to one more suited to surface beings. I'm reminded of the orbital stations built by my own home star. Ed Godbert. Brilliant structures truly are works of art, simply inspiring. Alright, Hildy. From what Father tells me, this storage facility is replete with samples and specimens collected from every land of Aetheris. If anyone has information concerning visiting aliens and crashed starships, it will be these studious folk. A shiny silver saucer? I'm sorry, but we have no record of any such object in our archives, either whole or in part. Or so you would have us believe, but the purpose of this complex, this military fortress, is plain. You cannot deny that you're conducting secret research on alien starships. We are not conducting secret research on alien starships. Yes, we did build a starfaring vessel in Thalmazane, but it was neither for military purposes nor of extraterrestrial origin. Disguising your foul lies with a sprinkling of the truth, are we? Fine, I'll dig up the facts myself, and then everyone will hear what you're really up to. Oh, I cannot assist you with your missing craft. I do recall seeing an individual of like appearance to your companion here. You do? And where was this, pray tell? At Muriel Agronomics, in the medial circuit. The lift at the back of the building will take you down there. Many thanks, my good man. Well, it seems you found yourselves a solid lead. I have my own search to attend to. I shall bid you good hunting and good day. Another round of in-depth inquiries by the agent of Enquiry and friends is in order. To Muriel Agronomics we go. Alright, so Muriel Agronomics. It should be just around the corner. Midlander Agriculturalist. Your description would lead me to believe you're looking for one of the Mandragoras hereabouts. But if, as you say, it's something else you're after, I'm not sure if I can be of much help. I've only just started working here, so you may have more luck asking the older hands. Brandahild, examining the grapes. What fine and juicy looking grapes. Highlander Agriculturalist. Oh, you must be talking about one of those new Mandragora strains. We whipped up a batch of bright blue stray onions, but I'm afraid they started to rot almost immediately. Not a mandra, you say? Well, the only other bluish things I can think of around here are the grapes. Look how luscious this crop turned out. Alright. And a Lullafellan agriculturalist. Yes, a little blue man. I saw him with my own two eyes, I did, and it was no Mandragora. A gleaner in the company of an outside visitor passed through a little while back. Nothing too unusual there. Only this, friend you described was sculling along with them. I know not what purpose brought them to the farm, but whatever it was, they didn't tarry here long. Ah, a lead. Billy? Wonderful. That corroborates with the information I but moments ago skillfully squirreled out of this farmer. She claims you an acquaintance with the gleaner in question, in fact, and will bring him to talk to us shortly. Let's round up the others. We should all be present to hear what revelations this professional collector has to share. You're the folk asking me the little blue man, yes? Oh, and you brought someone who's practically identical. You must be the same species, surely. My friend was really here, then? They certainly were. If you've a moment or three, I'll tell you the whole tale. To begin at the beginning, I was in Thavnair on a procurement mission when I crossed paths with an apothecary and his unusual companion. As I mentioned, the companion was almost your twin in appearance, and the wagon they rode upon bore a damaged vessel the likes of which I'd never seen before. Could it be? As a collector by trade, I have a certain weakness for oddities, thus did I hail the apothecary to inquire after his company and his cargo. I was only too happy to share his story. He had, it seemed, quite recklessly plunged into the war-torn lands of Garlemald to sell his wares, reasoning that where there was conflict, there would be a need for medicinal goods. The state of affairs was rather more volatile than he had anticipated, however, and he was soon forced to abandon his venture, and so the apothecary began his long trek home, only to shortly thereafter discover a strange silvery ship and its shaken pilot crash-landed in a snowfield. It cannot be a coincidence. The story continues. After extricating the battered vessel and his occupant from the snow, he brought them home to Razat Han. His guest wished to make repairs to the craft, yet even amongst the wonders of the bazaar, they struggled to find suitable parts. Hearing this, I suggested they bring the wreckage itself to Labyrinthos, and after they agreed to the idea, I escorted them here myself. Alas, even the Thalmazane engineers who worked on the Ark were stymied by the exotic ship, finding its technology impossible to comprehend, let alone replicate. The little blue fellow eventually resorted to drafting schematics. While the engineers followed these step-by-step to craft the essential bits and bobs, the apothecary and his companion were waiting here at Marial. And then what happened? Well, once our industrial visitor had what they needed, they repaired the vessel in a twinkling. The pair then departed almost immediately, and I've seen neither hide nor hair of them since. I'm told the apothecary paid a handsome sum for the engineer's services, but being typical Charlians, I wagered they'd happily forfeited the coin for a chance to pour over every square ilm of that ship. Now, I'm no scientist, but I'm beginning to think such an incredible vessel must have been some kind of starfang craft, and that little blue man, well, he must have been an alien from another world. So I'd like to believe. I'm an avid reader of the Thavnarian truth, you see, and love to entertain these idle flights of fancy. But I've rambled on too long. There are errands to attend to, and I really must take my leave. Good fortune to you. Can it be true? I have readership in Charlian? Perhaps I misjudged these people. It seems your comrade is hale and healthy, Master Poo-Poo, and in the company of a Hanish alchemist of undisclosed description. Yes, this is a wonderful news. I am grateful indeed that we made the journey. I have a feeling this case will soon draw to a close. Come, let us return to Razat Han and continue the search. Alright, let's return to Razat Han. Alright, Hildy. Oh, should probably talk to Nashu first, but whatever. To summarize our findings, we now know Master Poo-Poo's friend is safe and in the company of a Hanish gentleman, and possibly here on this very isle. Oh, that does sound promising. Godbert, find what you need. Father, you've returned to the city. I trust this means your own investigation was successful? That it was, although laying hands on the object of my desire has been a long and frustrating ordeal, to say the least. Much painstaking research revealed to me the existence of a hereditary Manderville relic, within which slumbers the secrets of weapon augmentation. Yet, though I turned our ancestral home upside down, I failed to unearth the artifact in question. The reason for its absence became clear when I chanced upon the journal of one of our forefathers. He wrote of a visiting scholar's keen interest in the relic, and how he thus surrendered it into Charlene's safekeeping for study. The trail led me to Labyrinthos. As it turns out, the Charlenes never did find time to conduct their analysis. The custodian and I found the curio tucked away in a dusty corner of the Archaean, still awaiting processing. An interesting object. And here it is, an oddity every bit as perplexing as Godbrand's cipher-bound manual. How are we to liberate its hidden wisdom? Oh, I can help you with that. These devices were made by the Mandervillians, a starfaring race with whom we once traded. Mandervillians? Starfaring? Mandervillians? Yes, a highly evolved species with a mastery of advanced technologies. Our people's shared ideals and inventions, so I'm quite familiar with your family's relic. If you wish, I can have the device project whatever images were stored upon it. A darkened room would afford us the clearest view, however. It's a projector. And let's retire to our rooms in common and dim the lanterns. We must behold these secrets in optimal conditions. Mandervillians? A coincidental naming, or is there some deeper connection? And there's a bunch of random Arcosodra here. Oh, no, they're the people who actually have this house, right? Everyone comfortable? Let us see what the device has for us. I am Godbrand, Wanderer of the Stars and Weaponsmith Extraordinaire. First Lord of House Manderville. This is the Godbrand, our founding father? I record this message that my descendants may know the truth of their cosmic origins. The tale is long, but I bid you watch until the very end. Heirs of mine, I am not a man born of this star, or even a man at all. I am of the Mandervillians, a race with hails from the far side of the great expanse. So they are aliens. Mandervillians are parasitic symbionts. We can only survive by bonding with other life forms. What is this, Stargate? Once our essence has taken root, we supplant the host's mind and strengthen its physical structures, imbuing our new form with a steel-like resilience. I knew there was something alien about that impossible imperviousness. Then, through the co-joining of compatible host bodies, we produce offspring which harbor the next generation of Mandervillians. This symbiotic variant eventually takes to the stars in search of potential new vessels, adapting and multiplying. So it was that our race proliferated and spread throughout the cosmos. Until tragically, our flourishing civilization was brought to an abrupt end. Every planet upon which we Mandervillians resided was visited by an inexplicable calamity. Our societies were brought to ruin by life forms suddenly twisted into horrific nightmares. Well, that sounds familiar. It sounds rather familiar. So even the stars far removed in time and space were ravaged by the final days. Desperate to avoid the same fate, a comrade and I boarded a ship and fled upwards into the starry night. We flew and flew until we found a planet, your planet, untouched by the phenomenon, but the rigors of the journey had so damaged our craft that we were forced to make an uncontrolled descent. I alone crawled from the wreckage, badly injured and near death, but even as I resigned myself to perishing on this unfamiliar world, I was found by a man who had come to look for the falling star. As a rule, Mandervillians do not take intelligent life forms as hosts. After hearing my story, however, this sympathetic gentleman offered to become my vessel of his own accord. He was himself afflicted by an incurable malady, and with little time left to live, he seemed content to know that his ailing body could provide safe haven for another. With his blessing, I set about transferring my essence. The man's form was revitalized and purged of its fatal frailty, yet the mind which dwelled within was now my own. I went on to build a new home for myself here, making use of my people's technology to ply the blacksmith's trade. I wed a local lass, and together we had a child. Although not pure Mandervillian, our offspring exhibits the same enhanced physiology, a boon I suspect shall be passed down for generations through the bloodline of House Manderville. My dear descendants, the folk of this star are most fragile, yet as the first man I encountered did demonstrate, they are nevertheless capable of surpassing love and generosity. As the last of the Mandervillians, I have but one request to make of you. Pray employ your superlative attributes and my armory of Manderville armaments for the benefit of these wonderful peoples whom I hold in the highest regard. Well, that's fascinating. What an astounding development. I, Hildebrand, Heliodor Maximilian Manderville, shall heed the passionate plea of my illustrious forebear. No case is too big nor too small, should it be in service to my fellow man. And there he goes. He learns he's descended from an extraterrestrial being, and it's still business as usual. Yeah. Wait a minute. Why is Lady Julian so monstrously strong? Is she a descendant of aliens too? Well, well, this is most unexpected. Never did it cross my mind that our esteemed ancestor might hail from beyond the heavens. But I do wonder if that self-same blood still runs thick in our veins. The family tree I glanced over some years ago suggests that... but 'tis unemployment. My present purpose remains unchanged. I'll bring our Manderville weaponry to the peak of perfection, for Godbrand, and for the good of our star. But before I forget, I have a gift for you, Yami. Pray wait await me at the Aetheryte Plaza, and I shall bring it to you forthwith. Alright then. So, the Mandervilles are aliens. Okay, that tracks. Or they're descended from aliens, anyway. Some truths can shatter the foundations of our beliefs when brought to light, but I have to say, this wasn't one of them. The most staggering discovery was that I have devoted readers in Charlium. Those who pursue my publications, or peruse my publications, are allies against the ever-expanding webs of lies and deception, without exception. I misjudged the Charlian people. They are not collaborators or the architects of conspiracy. They are but seekers of knowledge and afraid to plumb the depths of the unknown. Yes, exactly. That Master Poo-Poo, though, that one still has ulterior motives. I bet my life on it. Stand ready, for we shall have need of your strength when he shows his true colors. I doubt it. I hope you have not been waiting long. This is the gift I mentioned. Master Poo-Poo's earnest quest inspired me to indulge in a spot of clockwork craftsmanship between weaponsmithing sessions. I thought it only fitting that you be the one to care for this diminutive simulacrum. Consider it a memento of your adventures together. Alright, so we got a minion. As for our Manderville weaponry project, your assistance is still very much welcomed whensoever you can spare the time. Until then, my dear Yami. Yeah, we'll get to it. Meanwhile, elsewhere in Thavnair. Lord Van Hoody, I come with ill tidings. Professor Luge set an ambush for his nemesis, but was once more defeated. His current whereabouts are unclear. That blithering dolt. Well, there's our missing starship. And is this our merchant trader that discovered Poo-Poo's friend? And he's making copies of himself. No matter, preparations are well underway. The manifestation will proceed as planned. What are you planning? He's building an army of himself. All right, and that is the last quest in the Hildebrand storyline, at least until the next big patch. So, we will wait for that, and we'll see where this goes. All right, but for now, we'll stop here for today. Very interesting revelations. All right, but for now, hope you guys enjoyed it. Thanks for watching. Go ahead and like, subscribe, and comment, and I will see you next time.